Mom, did you stuff vacation pamphlets into our mailbox again? I don't see any reason for you to be upset, dear. I simply thought that they would come in handy while you two plan your honeymoon, that's all. You completely filled our mailbox with them. Please stop doing that. The mailman constantly has to ring our doorbell to give us our mail because he can't fit it in the mailbox. I'd rather you stop giving us those pamphlets altogether, but could you at least just set them on the front doorstep instead? I was only trying to be helpful. Regardless of your intentions, it's getting out of hand. Am I clear? Don't put them in our mailbox anymore. That reminds me, have you decided on a destination for your honeymoon yet? We're still thinking about it. Why do you ask? What? You mean you haven't decided yet? But it's been 6 months since your wedding. Yeah, well, Sam and I are both busy with work, and our schedules are pretty hard to coordinate, so... Oh, and that wedding. Even after I went to the trouble of planning a beautiful wedding for the two of you from top to bottom, you didn't use any of my ideas. I was so shocked. Weddings are for the bride and groom, Mom, not their parents. We planned our wedding the way we wanted. That's normal. Not to mention the wedding you planned was unbelievably extravagant. A $30,000 dress? $500 per plate at the reception? Who do you think we are, the Kardashians? You could have taken out a loan. Plenty of couples do that these days. I am not going to spend so much on a wedding that we're never going to be able to afford to buy a house, Mom. Look, we've been through all of this before, and I'm tired of having this conversation. I need to get back to work now. Since you were insensitive enough to disregard my wedding plans, I expect you to at least take my honeymoon plan into account, understand? My travel sense is impeccable. A vacation planned by me is worth more than money. This is our honeymoon, so we will plan it in the way we want to. End of discussion. Nonsense! You said yourself that you haven't decided on anything yet. It's clearly far too much for you to handle by yourselves. Listen, dear. A honeymoon is an important step for a new couple. It sets the mood for the rest of your marriage, creates memories that will last a lifetime. But you still haven't even decided on a location, much less transportation and lodging. Is this how you want your marriage to start, with indecision and procrastination? We're starting our marriage with thoughtful planning and deep discussion between the two of us, but thanks for your concern. We'll take a look at the pamphlets you gave us, okay? Is that enough to satisfy you? We'll see. Let me know when you've finalized your plans. I'll let you know whether or not they're up to snuff. Frankly, I'm not interested in your opinion. Excuse me? Like I said, I need to get back to work. Goodbye.
Hey, Sally. I just made it to the hotel fine and got checked in.
Thanks for letting me know, Sam. I hope you enjoy your business trip. I'll do my best. Travel's nice, but when it's for business, meh. By the way, I just realized that my mom sent me a text. She said you complained about her stuffing our mailbox with a bunch of travel pamphlets again.
Don't tell me she was getting on your case about our honeymoon again.
Yeah, she was. She took it to a new level this time, too. It looked like that mailbox was about to burst at the seams from all those pamphlets.
Unreal. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
I took a look at them, thinking maybe there might be a chance that one of them might be interesting, but they're all guided tours with a private guide who goes with us everywhere. Why would we want a third wheel on our honeymoon?
That reminds me, my dad told me before that my mum had booked that exact same kind of tour for their honeymoon. Dad said it completely destroyed the mood. The two of them never had any privacy at all, with the guide constantly with them, at restaurants, parks, stores, etc. But it sounded like Mum enjoyed it, at least.
You think that's why she's pushing it on us? Because she had such a good time with it?
Yeah, probably. For her part, it's not like we've told her what sort of honeymoon we had in mind. But then again, even if we did tell her, I'm sure she had just managed to find a way to barge in on us. So it's probably best we just keep her completely in the dark.
It's crazy that you're so comfortable talking about your own mother like that.
Hey, It's the truth. Just the way my mum is. The way she's always been. Once she gets an idea in her head about something, she has to inject herself into it, even if it has absolutely nothing to do with her. That's why I never told her about, well, you know what.
Ah, that. Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't spill the beans to her about that. But are you sure you're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm sure. I talked to my dad who knows all about it, and he gave me his blessing to keep it between us, so yeah. Let's just continue to do that.
Okay, well, as long as you're okay with it. Hello there, Sally. Today's the big day, isn't it? I bet you're so excited. I know I am. Huh? What should I be excited about? Oh, come now, dear. Are you still going to keep the act up? I know you were trying your best to keep me out of the loop, but you've underestimated me. I know everything. Mom, I seriously have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, well, you can go ahead and be that way. It doesn't change the fact that I know everything. Could you please stop talking like that and just tell me what you think it is I should be excited about? I'll see you soon! Sally, where are you? You need to come and pick me up from the airport. I'm waiting. What? What do you mean, the airport? Where are you? Okinawa! Where else? Okinawa? You mean in Japan? Which hotel will we be staying at? I hope you picked the one I recommended. The buffet breakfast looked phenomenal. You're not making any sense. Come on, Sally. I just arrived in Okinawa, so tell me where the hotel is. Seriously now, dear, get with the picture. Exactly what picture am I supposed to get with, Mom? Why are you in Okinawa? And why are you suddenly expecting me to come to pick you up from the airport and take you to a hotel? Did I miss something? I don't remember you ever talking about a vacation to Japan. My goodness, Sally, you never give up. I know your honeymoon in Okinawa starts today. What? I heard Sam talking to his father about going to the Blue Cave on your honeymoon. When I looked it up on the internet, I figured out that you were going to the Blue Cave in Okinawa, Japan. After that, I looked at their texts on his cell phone and figured out all the dates and times for your flights. I'm a real Sherlock Holmes, aren't I? Did you really go through your husband's phone without his permission? We've been married for 40 years, dear, so what if I did? But enough about that. Let's talk about our plans. So we're going snorkeling in the Blue Cave, then? Ugh, you really have terrible taste. I made a deliberate effort to remove any tours with snorkeling from the pamphlets I gave you, but you went and signed up for it anyway. I thought you had learned your lesson about listening to my recommendations after that disaster of a wedding you planned by yourselves. It's clear you need the help of a travel expert. That's why I decided that I would tag along with you on your honeymoon to help you enjoy yourselves on your trip to Okinawa. And as your official guide, I hereby declare that your silly little snorkeling thing is cancelled. Mom. But we can talk more about that later. Hurry up and come pick me up from the airport. Mom, we're in Hokkaido right now. What? Why? I guess maybe you're not familiar with Japanese geography, but there's more than one place called Blue Cave in Japan. There's one in Okinawa, yeah, but there's also one in Hokkaido, too. There is? Hokkaido? Isn't that far to the north? You're going snorkeling in that freezing cold water? No, we're on a cruise. A cruise? Sam and I actually already went to the Blue Cave in Okinawa with a group of our friends back when we were in college. We loved Japan so much that we figured we'd go again for our honeymoon. And when we learned there was another Blue Cave, we figured we'd go there. So, you're in Hokkaido? Yep. And not in Okinawa? Nope. I don't believe this. Now I'm going to have to get a ticket to Hokkaido. No, Mom. We'll already have moved on to a different location by the time you get here, so don't waste your time or money. What? Hokkaido is a pretty big place, actually, and we're on an extended tour taking us around most of the island, making brief stops at major tourism spots. Just brief stops? That won't be any fun! But we're enjoying ourselves plenty, thank you. But the best part is yet to come. We're going on a train tour that circles the island so we can see all the scenery from the train window. You what? How could just riding a train be fun? You can ride a train at home. Meh, to each their own. Everyone has their own tastes, different things they enjoy. We don't like the same things you like, Mom, that's all. Sally, dear, how dare you? I offered to plan your honeymoon for you out of the kindness of my heart, and this is how you repay me? As long as we're on the subject, Sam has something he'd like to talk to you about, so I'll hand the conversation over to him now. Sam? But why?
Mum?
Yes, Sam?
I thought you should know that we moved.
You moved?
After our honeymoon is over, we're going to go straight to our new house.
How could you? You've got some nerve dropping something like this on me so suddenly. How many times do I have to tell you? You must consult with me before making major decisions like that. Oh, unbelievable. You always did love causing me trouble, however. I am still your mother, and I must fulfill my motherly duties. Don't worry, I'll come over to your new house to properly arrange your furniture and that sort of thing. What's the address of your new house?
I'm not telling you.
You're not telling me?
And by the way, even if you somehow manage to figure out where our new house is, you're not welcome. So don't even think about coming.
What? What? But why? You need me to fix your house for you, don't you?
No, I don't.
Don't be ridiculous.
I don't need you forcing your opinions on me in every aspect of my life, Mum. Didn't Sally just tell you? Everyone has different tastes. We don't like the same things you like.
I was just trying to be helpful.
Being helpful would be offering a recommendation when we ask for one. And I wouldn't have any problem with that. But if we don't do everything exactly the way you want us to, down to a T, then you go completely hysterical. Haven't you noticed that all your friends have abandoned you one by one? Do you hang out with anyone other than Dad?
That's nonsense. They haven't abandoned me.
Oh, for the love... Don't tell me you didn't even notice. Surely you can't be that oblivious. Do you have any idea the damage you've caused other people with your behaviour? Don't you remember what happened with Cynthia a few years ago? She almost got divorced because of you.
What are you talking about?
Good grief. I don't believe you. The rumour about her having an affair? You heard one woman say she thought she saw Cynthia meeting with another man at a restaurant, and you took the liberty of telling her husband that she was cheating on him.
What was I supposed to do? Let him be cuckolded?
How about that time with my friend from high school? We went to the bowling alley after school one time, and so we smelled like smoke because, well, it was a bowling alley. And what did you do? You went over to his parents' house and lectured them for an hour about how they needed to teach him that smoking was bad for your health.
Oh, now you expect me to let a young boy die of lung cancer, do you?
And that's just the beginning. There's way more instances than that. Do you have any idea how many friends I lost because of you?
Imagine how many you'd lose to cancer if their parents let them smoke.
But I'm not even as concerned about myself as I am about Dad. He constantly has to clean up after your messes.
Ha! That man couldn't even clean a living room without me.
Every single time you make a fool of yourself and cause massive problems for people, who's the one that has to go and apologize and beg them not to sue you for harassment? Dad. I would know. Ever since I became an adult, I've been going with him for those apologies. I'm sick of it, and I'm sick of you.
Sam, you can't talk to me like that. Everything I've ever done has been to help you, to help the people around me. I was just being a good neighbor and friend.
You have a bizarre understanding of what help means, Mum. You've done nothing but cause chaos for me and everyone else in your life.
You ungrateful little brat.
This conversation is over. You're not welcome to come to our new house. Even if you should show up on our doorstep, we will not open the door, we will not let you in. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't even want any sort of contact from you at all.
You can't do this!
I can, and I will.
Ugh, you obstinate child. Anyway, now that I know you're in Hokkaido, I'll do you the favor of looking up some proper tourism destinations.
Even after all that, you're still not listening.
No, you're the one who's not listening to my advice.
Ugh, I'm so sick of this. Just don't bother us on our honeymoon. Got it? Go home. Now. Goodbye.
My mother-in-law took a flight home the next day. However, when she arrived home, she walked inside to find a stack of divorce papers sitting on the kitchen table. I had heard that her husband was considering divorcing her, and I guess he saw this as the perfect timing to finally do it. He never contacted her again, and had a lawyer handle all the divorce proceedings. He's now living on his own in a nice apartment near our new house. I've got to say, he seems to be doing better than I've ever seen him before now. He looks like someone who's just had a good stretch after a long nap. It's like he's a brand new man. As for my mother-in-law, she moved in with her younger brother and his wife for a while. But before long, she started to give her particular brand of advice to her brother's wife, which was, obviously, not received very well by either her brother or his wife. He was, to put it simply, furious. He kicked her out of his house not but a month after she moved in. The last I heard, she was living alone, very alone, in a small apartment in the city's outskirts.
Two years ago, I remarried my current husband. My ex-husband thought it would be easy to have a child if we got married, and when I couldn't have a child even after a year, he called me an infertile woman. After that, he repeatedly cheated on me. I was secretly preparing for divorce, and when I was ready, I went to a lawyer. My ex-husband wanted to marry his girlfriend, and I wanted to divorce him as soon as possible. So we both agreed to get divorced, but... Kathleen. Oh, Ryan, it's been a while. What's up? What is that? What are you talking about? Facebook. Oh, what about it? I didn't know you were on Facebook. I just started it, and then I found your account. What the hell is that? I said, what are you talking about? You had a baby? I mean, why didn't you tell me you got married? Why should I? We've been divorced for 3 years now. We're strangers. You should. We'd been together for years. Don't call us strangers. I don't care if you remarry or not. Ugh, right. That's what I didn't like about you. You always act like you have nothing to do with it. Seriously, I should have never married you. All the time we spent together, even a few years, was a waste. How dare you say that when you didn't care about me while we were married? You divorced and then quickly remarried. So why don't you just focus on your own family? No way. I saw on Facebook and it looks like you remarried within a year after the divorce. You were connected to your current husband before you got divorced, weren't you? Ha ha ha, I knew you'd say that. You're so simple. Huh? What's so simple? Don't think me as you, okay? You wanted to marry your girlfriend so badly that you waited all the time for me to divorce you, right? So you think I was doing the same thing, huh? You really are simple-minded or you lack imagination. That's not true. If the person who cheated asks to get divorced, there will be a big fight and it would be very difficult to get divorced, huh? That's why you waited until I couldn't take it anymore and wanted to divorce you no matter what. For 3 years. Oh yeah, whatever. Otherwise, who would like to stay married with an infertile woman for 3 years, having sex with her that I don't want to? You were an infertile woman, but I wanted kids, so I made a new girlfriend. But I still had sex with you twice a month, which I didn't want to because I thought we might have a baby. A sex that doesn't feel good, feel nothing. You're an infertile woman, plus a bitch who don't do anything during sex. You son of a bitch. That's how you felt? Wow. I mean, how can you say so many specific bad things about me after 3 years? You're wasting so much brain capacity on useless things. So the rest of it is so naive. Shut up. I married you because I wanted kids. You yourself are a good-looking, smart CPA and raised by a fine family. You met all the requirements to be the mother of my children. And guess what? We tried to make a kid, but you never seemed to be able to have one. Meanwhile, you get old and the eggs deteriorates. Oh, so that's why you had an affair with a young, beautiful, talented girl. Well, yeah, of course. I was seeing a bunch of girls just to find the best genes. Isn't that a natural male instinct? It sounds better if you say so, but I'm not sure if it's a rational human behavior. So what? It took time, but we were able to get divorced. You didn't ask for anything else. I was going to remarry immediately and have a child with my young wife. And yet, I have a child and you don't. I see. That's why you were in such a hurry to get in touch with me. I wondered why, but it makes sense now. I thought you were an infertile woman. You lied to me, didn't you? Huh? Why would I do that? I can't think of any other reason. It has to be it. We had sex twice a month for 3 years. Twice a week at the most. I made time in my busy schedule to have sex with you, even though you had no approach. It's funny how that infertile woman had a baby as soon as she got remarried. You were actually on birth control when you were with me, weren't you? You made fun of me. What's wrong with you? I heard there are contraceptives that women can use besides condom. You didn't want to have my baby, so you wore it secretly. You're too overthinking. No way. You would lie, of course. Or a contraceptive pill? You didn't want kids that badly? You know what? I did want to have kids too. That's why I never used contraceptive things or refused to have sex in the first place, right? I don't know, maybe you just wanted to feel good. I've got the best technique in the world, you know. What's with that confidence? Don't worry, you're so bad at it. What? You were so bad at it that I had to endure it. It was more like a painful time than a pleasurable one. What do you mean? You say yourself as sadist and you force a woman to be masochist. But you're not aggressive enough. I don't get wet and it hurts. And you could only stand it for a few minutes. And it will finish in 15 minutes. How can I feel good? What? You're just insensitive. Don't blame it on me. The other girls don't say anything. And my wife, of course. I'm sorry to hear that. She can't tell you if she wants to. She's not like you, using Facebook, Instagram. She's not a bitch like you. She's more modest. Whatever. Then why did you start Facebook? You've always been too lazy to do it, and what are you up to now? Everyone around me were using it, so I thought I'd give it a try. Nothing special. Is that so? You were using Tinder at that time. Just because you can't have any kids, aren't you doing the same thing all over again? You're already old. I'm amazed. Don't talk nonsense. It's none of your business. Huh? It's a big deal. Ryan, what does my occupation say on my Facebook? Huh? Smith, CPA firm. What's this? My current husband is also a CPA. That's why we started our own firm.
So? I don't know if you're trying to show me off how much you make money, but I don't really care. I guess a woman like you, who's like a nerd and has no charm, is better suited to a man like that. Yeah, you're perfect for each other.
Thank you very much, and your wife is coming over to my place for a part-time.
What? What are you talking about? She doesn't have any qualifications. Why is she working for you? My current wife works for my ex-wife? Are you kidding me? I don't understand.
I know it's hard to become a CPA, but she's taking the exam and trying to pass all subjects. She's great. She studies on her own. I think she's going to pass all the subjects this year.
Huh? For what? I haven't heard a single thing from her.
That's how little you see of her. It's exactly the same as when you were with me. To begin with, it's extravagant for a nearly 40 years old man to take a 22-year-old college student as his wife and want to have kids with her. An old man who gets a college student involved in an affair. It's gross.
Gross? It's natural that young women fall for guys who are in their 40s.
Natural? You're trying to justify yourself in a way that I don't understand, and that's exactly what gross means.
Don't say I'm gross. I'm hot.
Don't make me laugh. She said you tricked her.
I tricked her?
She came all the way over to your ex-wife's place. She must have been really pissed off at me. She asked me to pay you back the property division and give you back the apartment. You told her that I stole all of your property division. And that I took your apartment? I guess that's what you had to say. You spent so much money on girls that your savings were empty.
We had to share our savings after we get married, but you didn't share them at all.
You were a man who was having an affair and playing around with other girls. And you said you didn't need to divide the property. And now you're saying I have to share the money I earned? No matter where you look in the world, no one will accept that. I mean, we were supposed to share the property, but you couldn't, so I had to use my savings. And you lied about the apartment that belonged to me, saying that it was yours and I stole it?
It's the fact that you kicked me out.
Yes. I worked hard for this house and I paid the entire mortgage with my own money. And you just came to my house and said, lucky me, I don't have to find for a house.
You were lucky to be married by me when you were 30 years old and had no one else to be chosen, huh? If you had stayed like that, you would have been single, poor, and lonely for the rest of your life. You were a sellout and I took you in. You should be grateful.
No, I could have married someone else even if you hadn't found me. I'm different from you. I was just prioritizing my career as a CPA. Don't talk big to me like a man who used something and could only get a college student who knew nothing by tricking her. That's why you're getting dumped by women again.
Being dumped?
You haven't noticed?
Noticed what?
She's been preparing for over a year.
Huh? Preparing? I don't get it. There's no way I'm getting dumped. My wife is in love with me.
You seriously haven't noticed? She's preparing to get divorced.
What? Why would she think so?
Well, if you're chasing girls on Facebook and Instagram, you wouldn't notice. You're not paying attention to her at all. Like I said before, she's trying to become a CPA. And she has been thinking about it since she was young. You have a good eye for women, but too bad.
What's that?
You're good looking until you get her, but after you get her, you become an asshole. And since you get a smart girl, she's not going to put up with your shit. She becomes an independent woman. In a way, you motivate people. Oh, but you're also a useless bug fucker.
What? Watch out for your words, you infertile woman. I can dump that infertile woman who's only young and looks better than others.
No money, no brains, bug fucker. Oh, no sperm?
I do have them, like too much.
Oh really? I thought you didn't because you have sex a lot but nothing happens. You can't keep letting them rot just because you have so many. If you're going to be so bossy, why don't you start by showing some results?
You.
On top of being a dickhead, you trick and cheat on people. And I heard you've been on a long business trip recently.
She even told you about that? That big mouth.
You can play as much as you want. She's also lucky to have a lot of time to prepare.
Prepare? Prepare for what?
Are you stupid? Did you hear me? To get divorced.
Huh?
With a CPA degree at that young age, getting a job is a piece of cake. She's from a good university, she's got excellent grades, and if she works hard, she can become a very profitable CPA. You're just a disappointing person. I feel sorry for you. She's going to make more money than you in no time. Also, it's only a matter of time before you get dumped.
You really pissed me off.
If you have time to be pissed off, be a smart person. Are you so stupid that you don't notice the changes in a wife you've been with for years? You can't be a parent for the rest of your life. Your kids won't choose you.
Don't get carried away just because you could have kids. I can have a kid in no time. Don't get all condescending.
I'm just telling you the truth. Why don't you worry about yourself instead? When are you coming home?
Next week.
Oh, maybe it's too late.
What do you mean?
The house might be empty.
What? What do you mean by that?
I think she's going to leave you. You know what?
Huh?
Don't underestimate women.
What?
We are stronger than a dickhead like you. Live in regret and spend the rest of your life alone. Well then.
What do you mean? What did you say? Kathleen, hey.
After that, Ryan came back from his business trip in a hurry and found out that the house was already empty. He found a letter regarding the divorce in the dining room. He called his wife immediately and shouted at her. But when she told him about the proof of his affair and deception and the lawyer I had prepared, he easily accepted the terms and signed the papers. 1 year later, she passed the CPA exam and now is working as a CPA at my firm. Ryan is still paying the property division in installments every month and he is looking for a new wife. And he wants to marry someone in her early 20s. He still has to pay millions of dollars, but when will it end? Will he have a wife by his side by then? In the first place, has he forgotten that he had a fertility test? He would be a fool to be satisfied with what he had undergone without knowing the result. When will he realize that he really is sterile?